So not only do our brainwaves influence our ability to process, receive information, and even potentially output a type of performance, music can help us reach some of those things, right? So we're seeing this beautiful intersection of how music can influence our performance, our mental state can influence our performance as well, and figuring out how to pair those things together for us to have more effective and efficient changes between those different brainwave states and those mental states to allow us to see continually improving performance and optimal performance as well, right? And there's a time for being super excited and engaged, and there's times for being calm and engaged, and there's times for us to be calm and maybe even just a little bit distracted so that we can do some creative problem solving and our brain is able to take in those different inputs of information for us to make better choices with. Hi, I'm Dr. J, and welcome to 5 Minute Fridays. I have a background of a master's in human performance / applied sports science and a doctorate in sport and performance psychology. This week, our 5 Minute Friday is going to cover brainwaves and how that affects our ability to process information and to perform. Our brains are like symphonies, producing their own unique brainwaves, and each brainwave has its own unique rhythm and purpose. So let's break down what our main types of brainwaves are. So first, we're going to start out with gamma wave. Gamma waves are involved in higher processing tasks, cognitive functioning, learning, and memory. They're important for binding our senses in our perception, as well as too much can lead to anxiety and high arousal or even stress, and too little, we're looking at ADHD, depression, and potentially learning disabilities. Our next brainwave is going to be the beta wave. Beta waves are observed while we're awake. They're associated with our conscious thought, logical thinking, and stimulation. If we have too much beta waves, we can find ourselves with some anxiety or overthinking. If we have too little, we could deal with brain fog or a lack of focus. Next comes alpha wave. Alpha waves, they occur during relaxation, daydreaming, and even light meditation. They're associated with calmness, creativity, and accessing your subconscious, right? So if we have too much alpha wave activity, we're going to be daydreaming excessively. If we have too little alpha wave activity, we might have difficulty relaxing. Our next brain wave is going to be theta. Theta is present during deep meditation, light sleep, and REM sleep. It's associated with intuition, creativity, and even subconscious processing. If we have too much theta wave activity, we might find ourselves with drowsiness or spaciness. And if we have too little theta wave activity, we might have difficulty accessing our intuition, right? And then our last brain wave that we're going to focus on today is going to be delta wave. And delta wave happens to be the slowest of this ring. And so we started at our gamma and we've moved all the way through delta now. Delta's function is generated during deep dreamless sleep, and its ability is to help heal your body. It promotes regeneration and restoration. If we have too much delta wave activity, we're going to experience excessive sleepiness. If we have too little, we might experience sleep disturbances, all right? Each of these has a specific function within our day-to-day activity, and each of these are going to be important at different points throughout our days. Now that we've got a deeper understanding of each of the types of our brain waves, we're going to look at which part of the day each of these brain waves is most active. Gamma waves are going to be most active when we're doing intense cognitive activities, such as learning or high-level processing, and this can happen throughout the day at different times of day. Our beta waves are going to be active throughout our awake times of days. They're going to be most active when we're interacting with people, when we might be at work, or when we're up and active and moving around. Alpha waves are going to be most active in the morning when you're starting to wake up and you're kind of coming out of that sleep and you're in maybe a more relaxed or meditative state there. And then they can be active as well during daydreaming or different relaxed and tranquil moments throughout the day. Theta waves are going to be most active during light sleep or deep meditation, or even early in the morning. And then when it comes to our delta waves, those are going to be most active during deep dreamless sleep. All right, so that's typically going to be the first several hours of our sleep, but that's the time that our body will have a chance to restore and regenerate. So whether we're on that high end of the spectrum with the gamma and we're super intense and we're using our brain waves for a lot of cognition, or we're looking to regenerate, restore, or even just relax a little bit, our body is going to fluctuate between these different ranges of brain waves in order for us to be in a more optimal state during different times of the day, right? And our goal is that we're able to utilize these to our benefit. So when we understand how these brain waves can impact our different parts of our day, or when they're most useful, we can kind of modulate how our day is built to get the best out of our mental performance as well as the best out of our mental and physical well-being. So the awesome part about brain waves is we can sync them to music, all right? And I'm sure you've heard of meditation music or or different brainwave level music, and it all operates on different frequencies, right? And those frequencies match up to the frequencies that these brainwaves operate at. And our goal is that when you actively listen to this music, it's putting you in that type of a space so that you can operate how you're looking to operate within that. No different than when we train our bodies, right? And so we can utilize music to be able to get ourselves into a more relaxed state, or we can utilize music to get ourselves into a more excited state, right? And even the emotion that is packed in that music can allow us to access those different types of brainwaves, right? So not only do our brainwaves influence our ability to process, receive information, and even potentially output a type of performance, music can help us reach some of those things, right? So we're seeing this beautiful intersection of how music can influence our performance, our mental state can influence our performance as well, and figuring out how to pair those things together for us to have more effective and efficient changes between those different brainwave states and those mental states to allow us to see continually improving performance and optimal performance as well, right? And there's a time for being super excited and engaged, and there's times for being calm and engaged, and there's times for us to be calm and maybe even just a little bit distracted so that we can do some creative problem solving and our brain is able to take in those different inputs of information for us to make better choices with. Join us again in 2 weeks as we go over our next sport and performance theme. Thank you for joining me for this 5 Minute Friday. Once again, I'm Dr. J, and as always, be refined by the grind.